Hi guys, how are you today? So today I'm gonna show you how to create this card, which is called Floral envelope pop-up card. At the front you can see that has this vinyl floral also design, which I like it. And when you turn it around, you can get this beautiful look of flowers opening, and also includes a secret message. I think is nice thing to have for this card. The materials are gonna be on the description below, for both front and back side, also using glossy accents to give that shiny effect and dimension to this beautiful message. Okay, so without anything else to say, I just want to say thanks for watching, and let's start. Okay, I'm looking at my projects on Design Space, and here's where my project is gonna look like when you have access to the link that is on the description below. The link will be available for a limited time, but the images will be available anytime. So I will suggest to go ahead and pick the link as soon as you can, so you can have access to this design. I can also quickly show you kind of the things that I've made. So I will be trying to share one of my projects per week, so you can have access to that for free. Okay, I'm gonna click on my project, customize, because I already have it created. And this is how the project looks like. So these flowers and this envelope are part of the free images that you can find on Design Space. What I did to look for it, because I always feel that at least envelopes are difficult to find, to make, at least for me. So I just type envelope and then browse all images, and then in ownership I click on free. I have to type envelope again. Hit enter, and then if you scroll down, you can find some of the envelopes that you can get for free. I don't see here the one I found. Maybe it's not free anymore. Let me check here quickly. Yeah, I don't see it, so maybe it's not free anymore. Okay, but that's what I did. I went here and then click free and then envelope. Or actually I think it's this one. Can't remember right now, sorry. Okay, let's just go to insert just to take a look. Yeah, this is the one I picked. But if you notice, this envelope looks a little bit different compared to the one I have, because what I made some adjustments and created a couple of things in addition to the normal envelope. But you can easily grab one of the free images on Design Space and then tweak it a little bit and make the changes that you want to make. So what I did with this one, I grabbed this free image, and then I just added kind of like a triangle here, added the flower to be cut to have this little detail here, and then I cut the top part that used to be like this. And then I also added this section to cut, so this is where this piece is gonna go, kind of like insert, so which is what is gonna give you the slide effect, or kind of like a secret message. And to create this little rectangle, I also added this two sections because these are the ones that are going to keep this piece inside of the envelope without sliding all the way out. And then also these flowers are the images on Design Space. You can find them going to free images again, and then type in flowers. And those are the ones that are almost at the end of this group and are these. So this type of flower, as you can see, is to kind of create a dimension flower, but I'm not using it that way. I'm using it just by each flower by itself. And you're gonna need exactly this number of flowers, which is 7, and each flower has 7 petals. It's up to you if you want to use these flowers or you want to use different, but just make sure you have these 7 petals independently of the design or type of flowers that you are using. Okay. And then once I created this design, I was ready to make it. I'm not gonna show you that part, the cutting part, because that's basically what that paper does for us. There is not much to see actually, at least for this tutorial. But we can go ahead and start with the assembly process. So let's continue and start creating this card. To create the flowers or to adjust them, we need to cut one of the petals, like this one that you can see right now, or all of them, and then add some glue in one of those petals and then put 2 petals together. That way at the end you're gonna have 6 petals per each flower, which is what you need to get the pop-out effect when you add the flowers to the envelope. And okay, so I have all the pieces ready now to start the assembly process. These are the letters made with vinyl with the floral design for happy birthday. I made them using this material. I can't remember the name of the design, and it doesn't have the name in the back, but you can find it at Michael's, and I found it where the cardstock paper is located at. And then I thought it would be a good idea to create these letters also with a floral design. This is the piece that is going to be as part of the secret message, and this is the envelope with this section that is where this piece is gonna be placed. These are the flowers. I glue them before to save some time, but I will show you how to do it in a couple of minutes. And I also did it because I need them to let them dry. And the name of the paper is Floral Cactus. I believe you can also find it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I like these designs that has also flowers. They look very nice. I thought it would be a good idea to kind of use that type of paper so I can add kind of like different colors to the flowers. And they look nice. I also have these leaves. These are, I made them for a different project, and these are basically the leftovers, but I think I can use them. I also have these little ones. Kind of have different types of leaves. I still don't know how I'm gonna attach them to the envelope, but once you start with the design or details process, you can find the best way to add them. I always recommend to use vinyl for when you are decorating the front of the card, or the dots, or double-sided tape, so that way the card won't damage the section because of the glue. So I'm gonna start folding the envelope. I like this tool because it makes the folding part better. Now I'm folding the top of the envelope. And this is the flower that I mentioned before that I added just to give a little bit more details, as the back of the envelope is what we are gonna be decorating the most. Now we need to add the piece. I cut these little pieces of cardstock because I'm gonna need to make these pieces stable once it's placed on the envelope, so that way it will move this way. So start putting it inside from the inside part, and then you just have to make sure that it's aligned to the little circle that you are seeing here. Also, that little circle helps to see the arrow sign that is visible 100%, and you can see those little holes. That's also what we are gonna cover with the pieces of cardstock that I cut. So make sure you align this piece before you put glue or anything, just to make sure it's correctly aligned. So this is how the little pieces of cardstock are gonna be placed. I'm using glue for that. I'm just gonna cut it a little bit shorter because I just need to cover the little holes that I mentioned, and then be next to the piece that is gonna be part of the secret message. I'm just double checking again just to make sure I don't wanna place it incorrectly or not straight. Okay, now I'm using tacky glue. This one dries pretty fast, I like it. And then I'm gonna place this piece this way. Trying to do not move the piece that has the message. Then I'm putting glue on the other side to do the same thing. these pieces need to be free, because that's the part that is gonna keep this piece without going out of the envelope once you are done. And you can see the picture that is gonna show in a little bit on how that needs to be looking like by the time you are done adding this piece. Now you can see that I have this piece almost ready. I just need to wait a little bit to let it dry to make sure it's not gonna move or stop being straight. I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit, and now I'm gonna move to the flowers that are already dry. And that's, I will suggest to do this step before anything. So do the flowers and let them dry, and then you can start with the envelope and then go back to the flowers. And then you have to make sure that you have 6 petals and then fold it this way. This is one of the reasons that you need to let them dry, otherwise the glue part that you have to complete it previously, it may take the pieces apart when you are folding them this way. And remember, you need to have 7 flowers, each one with 6 petals at the end. And all the flowers need to be folded this way. I have to be honest saying that this design with the flowers, I didn't invent it. I didn't create it. I saw something similar on a different video, and I decided to add this to this envelope because I thought it was a cool idea. If you fold it one way and they don't seem to match with the other part of the flowers, so you can accommodate them the way you want. Okay, now I have all the flowers ready, and then what I'm gonna do is start putting them together with glue. You can use your glue gun if you want. So you have to put for the first one, glue in the sides without including the one in the middle, like you can see right now. And then the next flower goes to the left side like this, and the next one to the right side, same way as the other one. And press a little bit just to make sure it's gluing very well. And then the next one is adding glue to the 3 petals, the one in the middle and the sides next to the one in the middle. And then add the next flower like this. Press also a little bit to make sure they will glue very well. And as I said before, I'm using tacky glue in case you would like to get this type of glue. It's really good and dries quick. So now I'm gonna place or glue the next flower. And the glue is gonna be again on the left side, 2 petals only, and then the flower is gonna be placed this way. I'm sorry the camera moved a little bit when I place this one, so I hope you are able to see very well, but you can see how the flower is supposed to be. And then we do the same with the right side. This is kind of like a repetitive step, but of course at the beginning we cannot remember. I even had to watch videos a couple times until I remember without having to watch the video. Okay, and then I'm adding the last flower. Yay! So I'm putting glue again on the 3 petals on top and adding the last flower this way. Press a little bit to make sure the glue is sticking very well. And we need to let them dry again. So I'm coming back to the envelope for the next part. So what I need to do now is glue these sections, making sure these little areas don't get glue once I glue them to this part, because we need them to be free to move. So I'm using this tool. To be honest, I can't even remember the name of this tool right now. But I like it to make the marks so that way I know exactly where I need to put glue on the envelope. And the good thing about this is that you don't notice it. If I were using a pen or a pencil, you will be able to see it, and we don't want to have those details noticeable. So now I'm gonna just start putting some glue, and you are gonna see how the piece for the secret message has to be placed. Removing the extra glue that I put on it. We don't need to put as much as I did, sorry. I'm doing the same on the other side. You probably cannot see the marks, but when you do it, you will be able to see it. So basically the little sections of the piece for the secret message has to be under these 2 parts. Like this. So it goes under. Right now it's on top, but it needs to be under that area. You will see in a minute. Like this. And then I can close these and glue the envelope. And now I can slide this part without any problems. Just make sure you don't push it too far because it's gonna go out. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like this for now, but it's pretty much ready. I just need now to decorate. So because the flowers are still drying, I'm gonna start decorating the front side of the envelope with the vinyl letters that say happy birthday. You can use it for any occasion or event, just as a, you know, say hi, things like that, or for Mother's Day, or for someone who likes flowers. There's all kind of things that you can create this card for. Okay, you use the transparent adhesive for vinyl, as you probably already know. But one thing that is important to mention is that when you place the letters on cardstock, you have to make sure that when you put pressure, you do it only on the vinyl, because that's the only part that we want to stick to the envelope. Otherwise, the adhesive, transparent adhesive, it will stick, and then it could possibly damage the card. So you can see that looks pretty. Now I'm gonna place the word birthday, following the same process as I did with happy. Okay, and with the vinyl also you have to make sure that it's sticking very well. Now I'm removing the transparent adhesive, and the words are ready. What do you think? Did they look pretty? I like the way that the flowers design looks like. I'm glad I found this. Now you can add a couple leaves if you want. You don't need much to add here because the best part is, or the main part is gonna be the back. So now I have the flowers dry, and I can continue with the step that is going to be attaching this flower to the envelope. I'm just checking a little bit just to make sure they are glued very well. So you are gonna add glue in these two sections and place it this way. And they are gonna touch this area, which is intentionally because the part inside is not gonna be available, because that's where the secret message is gonna be moving back and forth. So that's why we wanted to make sure it's not open. Okay, so I used the glue gun on these points, and now my flowers are in place. Now I have to adjust them a little bit, but you can see that they look nice now. Now it's time to decorate the card with the leaves, and I'm using the glue gun again to hold the piece, adding glue in these points that you can see. That way when we slide the piece that has the message, is not gonna go too far higher when we slide it to hide it again. So yeah, I'm using now the leaves that I used for a different project before. So it's always a good idea to keep anything that you don't use when you are creating something, because you may use it later. It's a good way to do it. So this part will be up to you, the way you want to decorate it. I decided to put these leaves because they seem to look nice. And sometimes, well, as you may decorate as you go, right? You may have all the pieces, but then once you start decorating the cars or anything, you start thinking, oh, what if I do this or I do that? So that's always one of the things that takes me a little bit of time, because I want to make sure that they look nice. But yeah, we are getting close to be done with the card. I'm just kind of moving the flowers a little bit to make them more flexible, and adding the rest of the leaves. Then the next part will be to decorate the front if you want to add something else. I'm just checking. You can leave the front as it is, just with the happy birthday, to make it look nice and clean, or you can add just a couple leaves, just to add an extra detail. The main part is the back of the card, because that's the part that has the flowers, the secret message and everything. I'm adding something else here too, so it's easier to slide the card, pull in there that way. And you can add a message there too, between the arrow and the flowers, because that's the area available that you have to do that. The only one, actually, because we cannot use the inside or add anything. For the secret message, you can also add a picture. You can add a picture instead, or a different message. That's up to you. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some color to the message to make it look nicer. I always like to use glitter pens like these ones, because they make everything shiny. I always like to paint, as is one of the things that I like to do, so this is a fun part to do. So I'm gonna just continue painting this part, and you will see the results at the end. With the glitter pens, the beauty is that you may use glitter pens only, and they add so much shine that you don't need anything else. But I always like to add a little bit more, so you will see later that I'm also using glossy accents to add some dimension to the car. Okay, so I'm gonna enjoy this moment painting. This is one of the things that I like to do once I'm done with anything that I'm making that allows me to add some color. I left the card drying the entire night to make sure that this was going to dry 100%. And now you can see that it looks so beautiful, and even on the camera is not enough to see how beautiful they look like. It's even easier to slide the piece because of the soft part that the glossy accents add. I also added more leaves, as you can see, around the flowers. I think I like it like that, and I'm adding right now a couple yellow pieces in the center of the flowers, just to add an extra detail. This is completely optional. Even without it, the flowers look beautiful already. And then you can write a message between the flowers and the arrow. That's the part or section that you have available to do that. And then, so this will be basically it. After that, the card will be ready for someone who will be willing to receive it and appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you very much for watching my video and also liking this card. I didn't expect to receive a lot of likes. If you would like, you can also give me a like on this video, and also subscribe to my channel if you would like to get more notifications for new tutorials coming soon. I add videos twice a week, so it will be nice to have you learning how to make more fun cards like this one. Thank you, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.